showtime.
Bro, Chris Paul has better handles than AI.
Go.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Brand new episode here of the Young Bulls podcast. As you can see, we're in a whole different spot. This is a brand new apartment, everything like that. So, yeah, we're back. I believe the last episode that we did was July 2nd of 2025. So, little more than a month. First off, I would like to say, my fault. Life stuff has been happening. Just being back this week with school and everything like that, trying to get back into the swing of things. People were asking me, like, when's the next podcast episode and everything coming out. So I was like, I feel like I got to get one out. And considering the fact that it's going to be a long weekend, it's a Labor Day weekend, I felt like it was a perfect time and a perfect opportunity to have another podcast episode come out. Before we go any further, episode again is sponsored by LegacyJerseyShop, one-stop shop for every jersey. Shout out to my boy Mateo. He's doing great things over there at LegacyJerseyShop. I believe they just did a giveaway for a soccer jersey a couple of weeks back. I think that they may do one in the near future, but to make sure that you're on time and you make sure that you're in the loop of what's going on, go follow them on Instagram at LegacyJerseyShop. This episode is also sponsored by YBPod.com, your one-stop shop for everything Young Bulls podcast related. You guys like to listen to old episodes, go check that out at YBPod.com. You guys want to go purchase some shirts, go check that out at YBPod.com. You guys want to join an episode or possibly collab or something in the future, fill out the form that's on YBPod.com. I mean, it's right there. So make sure you use it if you want to use it. I'm not forcing you to, again. But if you like everything about the podcast and you want to figure out more ways to get involved or to just support it, go to the website, man. But yeah, it feels really good being back, man. And I have not been behind this microphone in a minute. Obviously, again, just life stuff, college stuff. I just have been like crazy busy, and I haven't really been able to put out like real good content like that. But it feels really great to be back and just doing what I normally do, which is say some real questionable takes, but at the same time providing fun and entertainment for everybody who's tuning in. So without further ado, let's get started, man. As you guys can see, I'm wearing the New Orleans Saints Crystal Lobby jersey. Top 5 receiver in the NFL. You can see that. You can see that. But it's only fitting that I wear this jersey because the first thing that we're going to talk about today is Spencer Rattler being the starting quarterback for the New Orleans Saints as announced by Kellen Moore and the Saints literally earlier this week. Look, I'm going to be honest with you. Spencer Rattler last season, when he did play, he didn't do bad, but there were times where Spencer Rattler was playing last year where there was just no help. He would show flashes of greatness, but at the same time, there will also be times in which he would show flashes of the same Spencer Rattler that we knew that got his job taken at Oklahoma with Caleb Williamson back up, and the same Spencer Rattler that we kind of saw throughout the tail end of his collegiate career. I mean, I'm gonna be so honest. Like Spencer Rattler, when he got drafted to the Saints, I was like, that's cool, he's there, right? But I'm not thinking that he's gonna be like a franchise quarterback type of deal. You know, at this point in time, mind you, we had Derek Carr. Yes, we saw how that panned out. Don't even get me started on what happened with the draft over the summer. But we had, just all these pieces. And in my mind, I'm thinking Rattler may just be there just to learn, but I don't think he's going to be there to be the guy of the organization, everything like that. And, well, he is. He's the starter. Honestly, looking at the depth chart at quarterback position for New Orleans, there was really no other better option than Spencer Rattler. I'm going to be honest with you. Tyler Shough, in preseason, he showed flashes of greatness. He showed flashes. He threw a couple of touchdowns, but he also played some really bad ball in some certain moments. More specifically, first drive, I believe I saw of Tyler Shough in the preseason against the Chargers, threw a pick six. The next game at home against Jacksonville, he ran into his own block or whatever, lost 20 yards off his sack, got a fumble, but he ran one in though, so it's like, that's cool. But I feel like what the Saints are going to do is they're going to have Rattler start off the season. depending on how Rattler starts, is going to be the factor in which that's how quick that we're going to see Tyler Shough in the Saints uniform. Now, out of all the other 31 NFL quarterbacks, I'm not saying that Rattler is like the worst, but when you look at like the list of quarterbacks, I will say he's maybe I mean, top what 28? I would say hopefully, top 28. I'm just gonna say top 28, top 28. But I mean, hopefully Rattler proves me wrong this season. I am not looking forward to the season for Saints football, man. Honestly, I'm not expecting us to do much at all in the division this year. Every team has gotten better this season. Our team is in this weird little period where we have young players, but we also still have old players on the team. We saw what happened with Tyrann Mathieu over the summer, with him retiring and stepping away. Obviously, we see the draft class. We see the receivers. The receivers are doing their thing. Shout out Mason Tipton. He had a solid preseason. But there are also some moments where I was like, I don't know, man. This may just be a rebuild year, which I'm totally fine with as long as, yet again, we get a top pick in next year's draft. And if we do get a top pick in next year's draft, I'm hoping and I'm praying that if we can't get a quarterback in the draft, that we can go ahead and put the ticket in for Jeremiah Smith. Honestly, if I can have Jeremiah Smith on my team, I would be feeling elated. I would be feeling excited about that. But the number one priority for next year's draft, if we cannot get Arch Manning, should either be Jeremiah Smith in the draft or Garrett Nussmeier. His dad is literally the OC of the Saints, I believe. Let me check, actually. I'm pretty sure he is. His dad is literally the offensive coordinator for the Saints. He plays at LSU. He's a dog. If we cannot get Arch Manning, under no circumstances can we not afford to fail in drafting another quarterback, especially a quarterback like Garrett Nussmeier, man. He's been willing an LSU team for the past couple of seasons he's been there, and he is not even a bad quarterback. And with the right tutelage and the right people teaching him about the game, he could be the next Louisiana legend to play for the Saints. I'm just saying, like, it's right there. It's right there. So, to the Saints organization this year, man, we don't need y'all to win any games. Y'all can go 0-17 for all I care. Tank. If we're going to tank. If we're going to win games, cool. I'm not trying to make the playoffs this year, man. I'm cool with us getting a top pick in the draft. Even looking at the schedule, I'm like, at most, we may win 4 games. I don't even know if I did a schedule prediction yet. But let me just go ahead and pull up our schedule just to let you guys know how we're looking for this season, man. Okay. So, obviously, first game of the season, we have the Cardinals. I'm going to chalk that up as a W, right? It's the Cardinals. Then we have the 49ers, that's a loss. Seahawks, that's a loss. Buffalo, come on. That's like, 3 straight losses after 1 win? We have the Giants at home. You see how the Giants been playing this preseason. Shout out to Jackson Dart and to the Giants defense. I'll say that's a loss as well. Patriots, that's a W. So right now we're probably standing at 2-5? We got the Bears, that's a loss. Buccaneers at home, that's a loss. Rams, that's a loss. Panthers, loss. Falcons, loss. Dolphins, W. Buccaneers, loss. Panthers at home, W. Jets is tricky. I would say a W. Titans, W. Falcons, loss. I totally forgot how many losses I just counted, but I can promise you that we did not have more than 5 wins of the season. So we're either going 4-14 or we're going 5-13. But regardless, though, as long as we don't make the playoffs and we have one of the worst records in the league, we are good. We are good. So as far as expectations for the season, I have none. I have no expectations for us to be great this year. I have no expectations for us to make the playoffs this year. I'm pretty sure I speak for all Saints fans when I say that this year is literally going to be a filler year for the Saints. And man, it just goes to show just how far as an organization we have fallen from the days of Drew Brees, man. I caught myself watching Drew Brees highlights against the Eagles the other day just to feel something, man. I caught myself watching Michael Thomas highlights the other day just to feel some happiness in my heart, man. I can't even stomach watching Saints highlights after week 2 of last year. I watched the Panthers highlights the other day. I watched the Cowboys highlights, and I just stopped it right there. I didn't want to watch the Eagles Saints game from last year. I didn't want to watch any of the other games that I had to witness last year after those 2 weeks of happiness that I saw with my Saints. It's been hard, man. It's been hard. To put in perspective, I'll put it in perspective for you, right? My friend Jalen, he's been on the podcast before. My friend Jalen, huge Commanders fan. Huge Commanders fan. For the past, I'm a senior now in college. So for the past 3 years, I have made fun of Jalen about his team, saying that you guys are terrible, bad, all this stuff, right? Jalen's, obviously the Commanders drafted Jaden Daniels in the draft and everything like that. And we saw what happened last year. The last time that I've seen the Saints play in an NFC Championship game was back when Drew Brees and Michael Thomas and I believe Mark Ingram were playing on that team. That was during my freshman year of high school. The last time I saw the Saints get past the second round of a playoff was back in I believe it was the year that Brees lost to Brady in the playoffs. Since I have been in college, I have not seen a Saints playoff appearance, man. And the way it's looking right now, I may not see a Saints playoff appearance until I'm 21 now, maybe 23 or 24. And I'm being generous with that. I could be totally wrong, but I truly have not seen and experienced happiness with this Saints organization since I've seen Drew Brees, man. It's just been hard, man. It's been hard. We've obviously had some great talent come through our roster. We've obviously had great players come through our organization. But it's like this organization, you look at just how they handled Drew and everything like that. It's like they didn't hit the reset button until it was too late. And then also, too, I'm even just thinking about it, too. We've had solid backup quarterbacks to Drew that we just decided, you know what, let's just go ahead and get rid of. We had Jameis backing up Drew, and we let him go. Because it's my fault. Ian Book is better. We have Jake Haener as our third string quarterback. No knock to Jake Haener, but what are we doing? Our QB room is absolutely terrible, man. It probably is the worst QB room that I have seen in the NFL. It is most definitely the worst QB room that I have seen in the NFL. And look, as a fan, I want to believe that these guys are going to do great. We're going to be great this year. Obviously, we got an offensive coordinator who's won a Super Bowl coming to our organization and coaching. That's a huge step up from having Dennis Allen. But, I just don't know. If the Saints come out the gate and win 2 games next year, am I supposed to be excited about that? How am I supposed to feel? We've been here before. But I'll say this. I said this to my friend the other day. I said, if the Saints start off the season 4-1, or we're in October and the Saints are over 500, we're making the playoffs. And I promise you, if the Saints make the playoffs this year, man, I promise you, if the Saints make the playoffs this year and we shock the world, I may have to go to New Orleans. This year. I may. Because I'm telling you, if the Saints made the playoffs this year, you got to understand, too, I'm in Philly, too. So, out of all these Eagles fans, I'm probably 1 out of 2 Saints fans. And the other Saints fan is literally my man's Quingo, who is another friend of the podcast. If the Saints make the playoffs this year, Oh, y'all going to hate me, man. Y'all going to hate me. I promise you that. So as far as Spencer Rattler, as far as him starting off the season, good luck, man, because, and put it in layman's terms, the keys to the organization are on the line with this, man. If you show out and everything, great. You keep your job. Shough can continue watching from the back. But if you mess up here and you don't perform well, they're going to pull the plug on you quick and have Shough come in, and it's going to just be whatever, man. It's going to just be whatever. And as a fan who wants to see their team somewhat compete and win and get back to, being a solid team in the NFL, man, not a laughingstock organization, please hurry up, man. I don't know how many more years I have of us not making the playoffs, man. It's been rough. And it's been rough when my mom, who is a huge Cowboys fan, is talking trash about my team. Like, the Cowboys have not been probably one of the NFL's biggest disappointments of the 21st century. And I'll still stand on that. I'm not going to even talk about the Michael Parsons situation, because if you've been following the NFL and you've been following the Cowboys and Jerry Jones and everything like that, that's a whole nother thing. But the fact that the Cowboys fans are coming at, my mom especially, talking trash about my team, it's like I can't even say anything back, because it's like, what can I say to that? I can't do the Super Bowl argument. They have, 5, 6 of them? Like, what can I say? There's nothing. That's what happens when you're one of the worst teams in the league. The Cowboys has won more games than we did last year, and we blew them out week 2 of the season. So it's like, it's whatever, man. But I will say one thing that I am looking forward to seeing this season from the Saints. I will say, outside of Mason Tipton and Kendre Miller, and sadly, I'm so mad we cut Cam Akers. But Kendre Miller, I'm excited to see Bub Means. Jonas Sanker, man. And I'm not just saying that because he went to UVA, man. Go Hoos. But Jonas Sanker is probably, he will end up being a stud for this organization. He's going to be nice. And Danny Stunts, what I think is Danny Stuntsman or Stutzman. Let me see. Yes, Danny Stutzman. Like, we have some dogs that we drafted and everything like that, and I'm excited about it. It really just comes down to what I'm going to see on Sunday, man. Like, there's a lot of pieces to this team where it's like, okay, we're here. Like, okay, we're doing something. But then you look at the quarterback department and you look at, like, the little intricacies and everything like that, and you're like, we're still stuck. I'll say give us a year. Give us a year. Don't let us get a quarterback in this year's draft. Don't let us get a quarterback in next year's draft. That's all I got to say. We should have had Shedeur this year. I should be wearing a Shedeur New Orleans Saints jersey right now. Obviously, that's not the case. And Shedeur is balling. He's balling. Despite everything that's been said about him, that's been talked about how he's not a quarterback and everything like that, he has been balling. Props to him. But don't let us get a quarterback in this next year's draft, man, because if we're a quarterback away from being a top team again in the NFC. And I'll stand on that. We're a quarterback away. You saw what happened when Drew came to New Orleans. When Drew came to New Orleans, what happened? We start winning. Once we get another quarterback, it's over. It's over. It's over. But that's all I got to say about the Saints, man. Obviously, from what you guys have been hearing, you can tell how delusional I am about how I think the Saints are going to be this season, let alone what we're going to be like when we get a solid quarterback. But you just got to understand, man, when you lose so much, you really have nothing else to lose. Write that down. When you lose so much, you have nothing else to lose. You've been at rock bottom. The only way to go is up. The only way to go is up. And for this organization, it cannot get worse than what it is. We lost to the Panthers last year. That's bottom of barrel. That's bad. It took us losing to the Panthers last year in Carolina for Dennis Allen to get fired. And at that point in time in the season, we had lost 6 straight games. We are at the bottom right now. The only place for the Saints to go is up. So I mean, look, all I want to say is this. If the Saints disappoint me this year, I won't be surprised. But if the Saints start off the season with a solid record and they're winning games that they should be winning and they're keeping it close to teams that they should be getting blown out by, I'll call the season a success. Honestly, if we win more than 5 games, I'll call it a success. If we win less than 4, then that's a failure of a season. That's what I would say. Honestly, I'm cool with us winning 6 games and not making the playoffs. I'm cool with us winning 5 games and not making the playoffs. If we only win 1 game, though, I'll be like, dang, like, we suck. But on the bright side, that means tickets are going to be mad cheap to get down there. So at this point, man, for the Saints, don't hurt yourselves too much trying to win, man. We just trying to get a quarterback in the draft, man. We're just trying to get a quarterback in the draft. But yeah, we'll see, man. We'll see. But moving on to the next topic, speaking of the NFL, as of 10 o'clock this morning, Thursday, they released their rivalry series uniforms for I believe it was the AFC East and NFC West. And, it's the rivalry uniforms are basically like the City Edition uniforms for, the NBA, but it just in football terms and everything like that. But we're going to go ahead and rank these uniforms from best to worst, because why not? Looking at these uniforms, man, I see what the NFL is trying to do. Obviously, they're trying to put like their own like connection to like each of these uniforms and everything like that. I feel like the best one off the gate has to be, I'm not going to lie, the Cardinals one is up there for me. I would say the Cardinals one is one of my favorites. Obviously, the Cardinals, Arizona is the desert. If you've seen the uniform, or, you check out the uniform literally looks like it has little sand specks on it. And it looks like it's been out in the desert, which I think is dope. It's supposed to represent, like, dust storms that occur in the state. And, it shows, like, the state emblem and everything like that. And, like, it has copper and everything on the sleeve and the back neck of the jersey. And it's going to be worn with white pants. I feel like that's dope. I'm a sucker for stuff like that. So that's why I have it up there. The second one on my list that I think that is just fire itself, Buffalo Bills, man. The Buffalo Bills released a literally white out version of their jersey with the blue outline. And the jersey is called the Cold Front jersey. Obviously, snowy, icy conditions are very prominent in Buffalo. We've had a lot of games played in the snow. And the jerseys are like literally icy white and everything like that. You're going to be wearing white pants. I don't know if they have a white helmet for these jerseys. If they do, that'll be even fire. But it probably is going to end up being like a blue helmet or something like that. But it is fire. It's crystallized Bills logo on the sides of the jersey. It just looks like a dope jersey to wear. And it has Bills Mafia on the neck. So, I mean, I'm not a Bills fan, but if I was, I would rock that for sure. Trying to look next at these jerseys. The third one that I like that, is the best, I would say the 49ers one. Obviously, back in when Kaepernick was playing, I remember them wearing like these black, Niners jerseys. And especially like Patrick Willis and everything like that too. But these jerseys are called like For the Faithful. Has like the little faithful cursive writing at the top of the jersey. And it like supposed to like tap into like the legacy of the franchise. All black uniforms, classic red stripes along the sleeve. It's like etched in gold, which obviously 49ers, gold mine, everything like that. Gold rush era. And it says like faithful to the Bay. The next jersey that I rock with has to be, I'll say Seattle. So Seattle's, their nickname for their fans is called the 12th Man, the 12s. Their jersey is basically like a Soundwave inspired pattern. It's like repeating 12s inside the numbers, and it has like a glow that's reminiscent of raindrops on the city streets. And then it's like wolf gray background, and it shows like Seattle skyline. And they will pair the jersey with navy pants. But it's dope. It's called the High Decibel Zone. I'm a sucker for that. It's cool, and it always taps into like the fans and how loud it gets in Seattle, as it's always been a tough place to play in the NFL. The Patriots, theirs is called the Nor'easter. Their jersey is inspired by like the region's fog and pays homage to the 6 states that compose the region. 6 red stars appear around the neckline as a reference to the states and to the 6 Super Bowls won by the Patriots. Let's see what else. They also have like a cool little NE patch on the side of the jerseys, which I think that is different. I mean, it's cool. I mean, it's different than what I'm used to seeing. I feel like it's just like an okay uniform. Same with the Dolphins. It's called the Dark Waters. I was really hoping that the Dolphins would have did something Vice related for their jerseys. The dark pitch blue threads include notes of orange accents and iridescent aqua, as with the Rams and Dolphins fans' rally cry, "Go Fans," is inside the back neck in orange. The Jets have always been our biggest rival. They're the team that no matter what their record is, they're always going to play us tough. So many New Yorkers living in South Florida, the rivalry just feels that much more real. Dark pitch blue pants complete the combination. The jersey is supposed to represent agility and quickness of the team, shining through. I think, again, it's okay. I really wish they would have did something Miami Vice related for their jerseys. I would have to see them on the field in order to really get an idea of whether or not I rock with them or not. It's alright. It's cool, I guess. I'm not gonna lie. As far as which one is the worst, though, it's really a tie between the Rams and the Jets. The Jets, I feel like it's alright, but it just feels bland to me. It just says Gotham City Football. I mean, yeah, and it includes green pants, but it's I don't know. And then the Rams is just literally their home jersey, but instead of it being their home, navy royal blues, is literally just in black. Which again, I will say though, with the Rams jersey, the black helmet with the yellow horns is tough. It's nice. It's nice. So I'll put the Rams over the Jets. The Jets have the worst one that I've seen. But the Rams jerseys are nice. I'm just going to read the description, though. Rams have worn navy before, mostly when they reside in St. Louis, but never in this midnight navy form. According to the news release, a specific swatch highlights some of the colors and patterns surrounding them after the sun goes down. And a nod to the uniform worn when the Rams won their first Super Bowl in Los Angeles. Props to yellow are featured on the cap sleeves and pant stripes. Perforated blue lights that shine throughout SoFi Stadium at night are included in those same locations, as well as the white numbers. The team's fans chant of Rams House is printed on the back of the neck. Rams will wear similarly colored navy pants with the jerseys. Cool. And then let's read the Gotham City one real quick. The Jets' nickname, the Gotham City Football Club, is direct inspiration for their rivalry uniforms, according to the news release. Dark Empire green uniforms include black, green, and gray trims throughout, built on a Joe Namath Eric chassis. Textural graphs are featured on the cap sleeves and chest patch, a reference to the grit and grind displayed by the Jets and spotted across New York City. Of course, Gothic font is used as the number set, and with Gotham City Football written inside the back neck, the design includes green pants. I'm not feeling it. I'm not following the Jets one on that. I don't like that one. Obviously, you guys can go check these out yourselves, but again, I just feel like Arizona's is the one that I feel like is the most unique out of all the jerseys that I've seen. The Bills won too. The Bills in Arizona is up there, but everybody else is like, But that's just how I feel about it. That's how I feel about it. Obviously, with the rivalry uniforms, the idea is that so 2 divisions this season is supposed to do it, and then I believe for like the next couple of seasons, more and more teams are going to show. Let me see what the rivalry schedule is. I believe. Yeah, additional rivalry uniforms will debut during the 2026, 2027, and 2028 seasons. So more and more teams will have rivalry uniforms after this year. So, we'll see. It should be something interesting. Hopefully, it doesn't turn into something where the uniforms are, because you've seen, like, especially with MLB, I'll say with MLB especially, and even in some cases with NBA, like, there will be some hits when it comes to, like, the jerseys, like the Nationals Cherry Blossom one from a couple years back. That was a solid hit. But then you'll have some misses, like the Giants Clouds one from a couple years back, baseball. So, again, when it comes to these jerseys, I just hope that they really listen to, like, the fans, listen to, like, locals from the city, and truly tap into, like, what makes each city so unique and incorporate that with their jerseys. I don't want it to be a thing where the more and more teams that we see release these, the more, I guess, bland or played out it looks. I want it to be something where it's like, okay, I'm getting a different feel. And then also, too, I feel like it will be another thing that would be so dope about it is if they added stuff as far as, like, field designs, stadium atmosphere, things of that nature. Like with the Eagles with the Kelly Green, they flipped the whole stadium, like even the stanchions and stuff is like with the Kelly Green font and everything like that. So, that's something that I want to see with the jerseys. Also, too, I'm not going to lie to you, if they're doing this for the Saints and everything like that, a Mardi Gras jersey would be dope. A Mardi Gras jersey would be dope. All I ask is that they do not do what they did with the Pelicans, which was give us the skeleton. What was it? The skeleton looking jerseys. Just give us a Mardi Gras Saints jersey. I would rock that until the end of time. That would be a dope jersey to have. So, I mean, for what it's worth, the rivalry jerseys that came out, I'm not mad at them, but it's like the ones I liked. Obviously, they were hits, but they were definitely somewhere. It's like, all right, you could have did better. It's whatever though. But then again, I digress. Moving on, man. Moving on. Not tomorrow, but Saturday, we have college football back. It's been a long offseason, man. It's been a long offseason. But we have college football back. We have great games coming on this weekend. Obviously, the biggest one that I'm excited about, we got Texas, Ohio State playing. Obviously, that's Lee Corso's last headgear pick game. Obviously, I think Lee Corso's retiring after this last game day appearance on Saturday. Trying to look at the schedule right now. We have Clemson playing LSU in Death Valley. That's going to be a fun game. Got Notre Dame. Oh, gosh. We had Notre Dame playing Miami on Sunday. And, Temple's playing Saturday. We got UVA playing Saturday. This is a great time for football, man. But with college football Saturday coming back, I thought that it'll be something different to do on this podcast, is to give you guys who my 12 teams in the college football playoff are going to be, give you guys who I think is winning the Heisman, and who's ultimately going to be the national champions this year. So without further ado, first off, I'm just going to go ahead and do the Heisman thing now. I'll give you my finalists. I'll give you my 3 for the finalists. Heisman finalists. Obviously, goes without saying. Number 1, Jeremiah Smith, right? Jeremiah Smith. Number 2 Heisman finalists. Give me Lenore Sellers. Lenore Sellers. And give me Ryan Williams. Yeah. I'll take that. I'll take that. And as far as the 12-team college football playoff prediction, I got Notre Dame's going to be back in it. Obviously, they're out for blood after what happened in the national championship game last year. Ohio State, Penn State, Bama's going to be back in the playoff. I don't want to say that's 4 teams right there. I don't think Michigan's going to be in it. I don't think Arizona State's going to be back in the playoff this year. I'm trying to think. Let's see. I'll say Clemson, Oregon. Clemson, Oregon. I'll put Florida in there. Texas, Miami. Got 2 more spots. You know what? I'm just going to put South Carolina in there. No, South Carolina's case. I'll put Georgia. And honestly, a team that I feel like is going to shock a lot of heads this year is going to be Nebraska. So I'll go ahead and put Nebraska in that 12th spot. I mean, look, I'm not sitting up here saying that I am a college football savant. I'm not. Right? But I gave you 12 teams. This is my 12 teams that I think are going to be in the playoff. Let me know if I missed out any teams that you guys think are going to be in the playoff. But yeah, I'll say Nebraska. I'll say Nebraska for sure. But I mean, obviously this season's going to be a great season. Especially as a Temple student, like the one game that I am excited for this season is that Oklahoma's supposed to be coming to Temple to play us at Lincoln Financial, and Oklahoma's ranked. So I'm definitely, if I don't make it to any other game this year, I'm definitely going to find a way to get to that game. And then the week before that we play against Howard. So it's like it's going to be good football. I'm excited for it for sure. I'm definitely trying to get to a college football game though outside of Philly. Like I'm trying to get to a college football game like another UVA game or a Tech game, or honestly, I want to go down to an LSU or UNC game so bad. But there's so many different storylines this season. Obviously, Bill Belichick having his first season as a UNC head coach after retiring. Teams that were in the playoffs last year, can they continue with the momentum? Ohio State being the defending national champions, can they continue to play at that national championship level with a new quarterback coming in, Julian Sand? Can Ohio State finally beat Michigan after losing to them in 4 straight seasons in the game? Can Auburn get back to what they used to be and be a team that is a threat in the SEC? Can Virginia make it to a bowl game? There's so many different storylines, right? There's so many different storylines. I know I had to slide in Virginia like that. I'm sorry, but that's my team. Look, I saw a thing about UVA football. I believe it was at the kickoff show or the media day thing. They said that, we're trying to win a conference championship. I love the confidence. Virginia wins more than 7 games this year. Look, man, I couldn't tell you, but look, come on, man. I'll be excited. And it's just, like I said, I'm just excited for college football. I love when, we're in this period when it comes to like sports and everything like that, where football's coming back, baseball's winding down, and then NBA starts to pick up and everything like that too. It's just a great time for sports, man. And this weekend's going to be nothing short of another great weekend in sports. Obviously, you have football coming back. You have 2K coming out. Labor Day weekend. Where else would you rather be but in your crib watching games and just chilling out with the fellas? I mean, come on. It's a great time. So, I guess you guys know what I'm about to be doing this weekend for sure. But, I'm excited about it. Obviously, it's going to be some good games. Obviously, going to be some good television. I'm looking forward to seeing what team comes out on top in January. I'm looking forward to seeing what teams in the playoffs. If my playoff prediction is right and these teams end up making the playoffs, oh my gosh, I'm gonna be so happy, so excited. If Virginia finds a way to make the playoff, Don't say nothing to me, man. Don't say nothing to me, man. But I mean, I'm pumped about it. I'm pumped about it for sure. But moving on, man. Moving on to one of the last things that we're going to talk about on this episode is baseball, right? It's baseball. Now, the last time that I recorded an episode, which was July 2nd, the Dodgers had a 12-game lead in the NL West. Since I've recorded that episode, that 12-game lead in the NL West has gone to the wayside. I have the standings right here. The Dodgers currently have, if I'm not mistaken, a 2-game lead in the NL West right now, with them just taking a series against the Padres, and then just most recently beating the Reds in the series, who have dipped in the wild card standings. Dodgers right now are sitting at 77 and 57, and the Padres are sitting at 75 and 59. Man, the best team in the National League right now is still the Milwaukee Brewers. And yeah, I'm looking. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a really, really, really important month, man. Oh my gosh, the wild card race for the National League is neck and neck too. The Cubs have the first spot in the wild card. Padres are right behind them, and then the Mets literally climbed over the Reds to get that third wild card spot. After many people thought that the Mets season, literally as early as July, was literally done for. And then you just look at the American League, whole different story. You have a Red Sox team who lost Rafael Devers, with the trade earlier this season. Somehow, some way, find a way to claw back and even get into a wild card position. You have the Yankees, who many people thought were going to be World Series favorites again, struggle in the not the National League, in the American League East, and have the second wild card spot. And then you have the Mariners, who literally have been quietly playing solid baseball within another MVP season from Kyle Raleigh, who's had 50 home runs, who's been hooping, has been doing everything he can to make sure that the Mariners are another team that's in October. I mean, it's still so much game left to play, and I'm looking at the standings for the American League. It's really, that third wildcard spot is literally up for grabs. The Royals are right behind the Mariners, 69 and 65 in the season. Rangers, 68 and 67 in the season. Guardians, they came out of nowhere. Literally every team except for maybe Baltimore, Minnesota, and Chicago are still in the wild card hunt. Honestly, I don't know why Chicago is even considering, not even considering, but even in consideration for a wild card spot. They have not even reached 50 games and 50 wins in this season yet. They are 48 and 85. Their season is done for. But everybody else, except for Baltimore, Minnesota, and obviously the White Sox, are in very good spots to possibly make a run to getting that last wild card spot. And then you see the teams that are in the lead right now for the American League. You got the Blue Jays, Detroit, who's, again, solid season. Even though they're on a 4-game win streak, they're still having a solid season. And then the Astros, which I can't stand them. I can't. I can't stand the Astros. But that's a whole nother thing, man. But it's just been a lot of great baseball we played. But the one thing about the Dodgers that has been stressing me out the most, especially with them losing, is the fact that they would lose to teams that they should be beating. More specifically, series that they should be winning. The biggest indicator of this is the series against the Angels a couple of weeks back. The Dodgers, earlier this season, got swept by the Angels at home at Dodger Stadium. They had a chance to go to Anaheim and at least tie the season series up, and, extend their lead and the division. They got swept. And the bullpen was the biggest Achilles heel for this Dodgers team. And even looking into these late months of the season, heading into October, that is going to be a big problem for the Dodgers. I feel. Yes, Kirby Yates is coming back. Yes, Blake Snell just returned, recently as maybe 2 weeks ago. You've had, hitters coming out of slumps. You've had Mookie Betts coming back to form and everything like that. But the biggest thing for me, I feel, is that the bullpen is going to continue to show major, major, major problems for this Dodgers team as we head into October, man. There will be games that I've seen this season where the Dodgers are putting up great numbers. They're getting hits. Everybody's scoring. It's 6-0. They put in Anthony Banda for a game. Banda will come in, grand slam. Just like that, it's a tie game. Literally, that's exactly how one of the games that I watched this season, how that went. Another game I watched this season. Dodgers doing good. Dodgers up by a cool 3 runs. Kirby Yates comes into the game. He gives up a walk. Somebody else gives up a home run. Tie game. Dodgers end up losing in extras. And also, too, I honestly just feel that, another thing about the Dodgers this year that low-key worries me a little bit is the fact that, I feel that the Dodgers didn't put that much effort into the deadline. I feel like the Dodgers could have made a lot of different moves at the deadline. I'm not saying go out and get a big name, but something else, man. Especially over Conforto. I mean, I said this before, but I still feel that Michael Conforto should have been dealt with at the deadline. I don't think Conforto... Hold on, let me pull up the stats. Real quick, actually. I'm going to make sure I know what I'm talking about. Michael Conforto is batting a 192 average. He has 10 home runs on the year, 29 RBIs, 102 strikeouts. That's more strikeouts than Freddie Freeman. Wait, hold on. I said 102? 102 strikeouts. My fault. He has 102 strikeouts. That's the 5th most strikeouts on the team. The 4 people ahead of him? Shohei. Okay. Andy Pajes. Teoscar Hernandez. Freddie Freeman. And that's it. But the difference with Conforto's strikeouts versus the other people that I just named is that everybody else that I just named is either batting over 250. Yeah, no. It's batting over, I'll say batting over 240. Let's say 240 because Teoscar right now is batting 249. I'll say it's batting over 240. Conforto isn't. Conforto is not. He's not batting over that. So for you to be in the lineup and there'll be spots and you can't deliver for your team, that's going to hurt. If there's bases loaded and you're coming up to bat and everybody's like, oh, strike out here, and you strike out, that's going to hurt. Now, I'm not going to sit up here and act like there hasn't been games where Conforto hasn't come up clutch and has produced, but it shouldn't take you a whole season to figure out that maybe, just maybe, this isn't it. Conforto a couple years ago would have, came through in those spots and been a solid pickup. Conforto now is, no. Conforto when he was on the Mets and the Giants, for sure. No, though. Not now, though. I just don't feel like that's a move that's helping us truly win. And then on top of that, too, there's just been a lot of issues as far as fielding, as far as errors for this team as well. You look at, instances where Teoscar is dropping balls in the outfield, or errors being made in the infield, or just base running mistakes. There's just been a whole lot of things with this Dodgers team that I'm looking at. I'm saying to myself, this is not the same team that won the World Series last year. And honestly, I'm not going to lie to you. If this Dodgers team faces the Cubs or the Phillies in the first round of the playoffs, I'm going to be nervous. I'm going to be very, very concerned about that. Yes, the Phillies are without their best ace, Zach Wheeler. He's not going to be here for the rest of the season. I think he's going to return in 2026. But you see how hard it is for teams to win in Citizens Bank Park in October. When the Phillies and the Dodgers met earlier this season in Citizens Bank Park, if I'm not mistaken, at that point in time, in the season, the Dodgers came into Citizens Bank Park 8-0. They were undefeated. Best start in LA Dodger history. Best start. Their first game, they lost that game. The one game they won, game I went to, just want to point that out. They followed that up by losing their game Sunday off of a Nick Castellanos grand slam and errors and everything like that all over the place. If we face the Phillies, who, let's just face it, they have been a solid team all season. Yes, they've had some issues with pitching. Yes, they've had some issues with outings and just run support and things of that nature. If we face a hungry Phillies team in the postseason, that's going to be an issue. You've seen what happened with the Brees when they came to Citizens Bank Park in October in back-to-back seasons. The only team that I have seen that can come into Citizens Bank Park and win playoff games are the Diamondbacks and the Astros. And I'll even put a star next to the Astros because the Astros, they were one of the best teams in the league that season. And the Phillies weren't even supposed to be in the World Series, man. They weren't. But the Diamondbacks won, like, come on. Like that, winning a Game 6 and a Game 7 in Philly is not an easy thing to do at all. But again, I digress though. So, hopefully, the Dodgers, they get their stuff together and we can go ahead and win another World Series. So I can go ahead and continue rocking my Mookie Betts jersey and my Jackie Robinson jersey as planned for the parade this year. Hopefully, right? We'll see though. I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, it could happen, it couldn't happen. And with Dave Roberts and everything like that, one thing that I've learned as a Dodgers fan is that you would think that a blueprint to winning a World Series is easy. With the Dodgers, it's never that. With the Dodgers, it is never easy, man. It is always a struggle trying to figure out whether or not this team is going to win a World Series in a playoff, in a playoff season, or they're going to just choke in the first round. You can't tell. Kershaw is having a great season. We've seen the history with Kershaw in the playoffs. Kershaw will have a great regular season, Cy Young candidate, all of that stuff, and then postseason, bad is bad. So literally, I don't know what team I'm going to get in the playoffs. Maybe everybody locks in. Who knows? We're dealing with a lot of injuries right now. We're dealing with, questions as far as the bullpen, questions as far as who's going to show up to us as far as hitting. There's a whole lot of ifs and maybes and I don't knows with this Dodgers team. But hopefully with this 4-game win streak right now and us being able to take care and win games and win series, that we can figure it out and find a way to hoist up another World Series championship. Because I want another one. I want another one, man. And honestly, especially with having a once-in-a-generation type player such as Shohei Ohtani in your organization, players such as Mookie Betts and Freddie Freeman there, we have to maximize this window. Because once those guys really start to decline and get old and they can't produce at the way that they are producing now, then we're going to be right back in the situation of just bare bones, wild card, teams and stuff. We have to maximize this. I think Mookie's been here for what, 4 or 5 years? He's been here since 2020, it's 2025, so I'll say 5 years. I think his contract he has maybe 5, maybe 6 more years on his contract. I don't know. We need at least 2 to 3 more World Series championships until I say that this window has been a success. Yeah. I would say that. Yeah, for sure. Dodgers in 7, for sure. But that's gonna do it for this episode, man. As always, it has been a huge honor just to continue making podcast episodes for you guys. It's been one of the highlights of my week so far. Just getting back into the swing of things. Don't worry, I promise you, after this episode, you will not get a crazy long hiatus again. We will be right back at this again next week for another episode. Probably as soon as maybe Tuesday, but as late as probably Thursday around this time. This episode that you're hearing right now is going to drop Friday, as far as tomorrow. So you'll hear this episode tomorrow. But again, I want to thank you guys for tuning in. For everyone who's just started college this week, good luck. You got this. Enjoy yourselves. Not too much fun, but enjoy yourselves. Take it from me. To all the seniors out there, 2 more semesters, man. 2 more semesters. Just knock them out. But it's been great just being here recording this episode for you guys. As far as next steps with the podcast, though, we are happy to announce that we have another spot to record at. It's coming soon, sooner than you think, but it's going to be a lot bigger than this little space right here. It's going to be nice, everything like that. We're going to have a lot more guests this year. It's going to be a really fun way to just have more people experience the Young Bulls podcast. And I'm looking forward to taking you guys along on the journey. But again, thank you guys for tuning in. Again, the episode is sponsored by LegacyJerseyShop and YBPod.com. One-stop shop for everything Young Bulls podcast related. And make sure you guys go follow us on Instagram at YBPod. Continue to tap in, stick with the noties, and subscribe to our YouTube channel as well, man. We're going to post some more stuff on there. And yeah, thank you guys. Enjoy your Labor Day weekend, and we'll catch you in the next one. Peace.